All right, it's up. This is the moment you've all been waiting for, the Diddy trial. Now, I haven't been talking about this much, a couple times, a little too gossipy. And so I have to have something that interests me before I talk about it. And I do have something that interests me, and not so much of what everybody's saying on the stand, but what's really going on with the trial. That's what I want to talk about. What is really going on with the trial? I watched a lawyer today, and we're going to get into all of that. Rep Real City, I'm repping Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to all my people over on Twitch, everybody on Facebook, and of course, all of you all on YouTube. We're going to get into it. Fresno, California's in the building. We're going to get into this. And Indianapolis, Indiana's in the building. You say, I don't know what this case is about anymore. I will get into all of that. I'm gonna tell you what it's about. We're gonna break it down. I'm gonna tell you how I look at it. Is Patreon. You gotta write that over again. Is this a Patreon? No, this one will stay up depending. Hey, Samantha, how's the children? Wiltshire's in the building. A busy mama popped up. She's so busy now with the babies. Tell the king I said, what's up? I know they getting big. Oh, I know they getting big. You pregnant again? Oh boy, go. Might as well get it out the way early. You smart. You smart. Tell them I said what's up. Oh yeah, so you're gonna have, by the time that one get here, you're gonna have 2, 4, 6. Smart. What a lot of people don't know is that they will actually make it easier for you. Don't seem like it, but it will. It will. You'll have a short work to do, because once that 4-year-old hits teenager, your job is all done. The teenager can manage everything. And the only thing that stir you crazy is their hobbies. Okay. And so you and the king better get ready if they got 3 different hobbies. If you got to take, this one got to go to soccer, this one got to go to ballet, this one got to go to who knows what. Woo. And they all got to be there now. That will get a little crazy, but that'll work itself out too, because the first one get a car, it's got to drive everybody else around. So it's still a short motherhood. They have a tendency to do better in a group. They have a tendency to be less trouble. A lot of people don't know that. They have a tendency to be less trouble. They have a tendency to occupy each other. You know, one baby's just wandering around, want your attention. 3 babies, they back there somewhere. I hear them. You know? Hey, Samantha, you're going to have to go find them. You ain't got to worry about them. You know, you have to go find them. You gonna have to keep getting up and checking on them. What is they back there doing? They will do stuff. Yeah, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. 3 of them, and any one of them can come up with a good idea. Let's play shoe store. I got the polish. You come back, shoe polishes everywhere. Especially the baby. The baby, look, I did my shoes. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You got to get her up and dump her in the tub or him. Good to see you, Gail. The Patreon is hidden. The vegan intel and the Pharaoh said that is hidden. Hey, you're making me feel guilty because I didn't drew on my. You know what my dad did? We would always go up and down the base. My daddy painted where we are the most with some slick paint that you can't do nothing on. So we got bigger. He put some slick paint on there. Some shiny paint you can't write on. He was smart. You can't write on it. You can't scratch it hardly until we got bigger. Yeah. I always remember the boys are one type of bad and the girls. See, the girls, you got to put up all type of detergent, any type of bleach, anything in a bottle. It cannot be under the cabinet in the kitchen. They can't get to no shoe polish. They can't get to nothing liquid. You got to put it up high. One time my mother went in the bathroom and my sister is a year younger than me. She was sitting in the bathtub with the shoe polish. And shoe polish all up her arm and everywhere. Look, Mama, I polished my shoes. My mother was bad. It's a baby. You can't do nothing. She gonna polish her own shoes. She done went and got the stuff and opened it and polished them on the bottom, the sides, all up her arms. It's all over the tub because she touched it every. It was my mommy can go in there and come out and it's just clean, like a spick and span genie. Yeah, they can't get to no liquids. They can't have no dresser that could fall on them. Okay, they'll climb on the dresser, open the drawer, the whole drawer fall. The drawer got to be secured. The blind strings from the blinds can't be hanging down. Children choke on them. Go watch all those videos like that. Yeah. You gotta watch them. My mother came home one day. We landed in the middle of the living room floor with 2 big old things of water next to her. We just laying in the floor. She said, "What is y'all doing?" Mom, we had a water drinking contest. She said, "You can't drink that water like that. You could hurt yourself." I could go on and on. Me and my sister, she a year younger. It's like Dumb and Dumber. But what am I going to do? It's going to be a little while before I can really be a real big brother and watch them. You got to watch both of us. Good to see y'all. Yeah. One time, Samantha, we was eating some pecans. You have to crack them and eat them. Crack them and eat them. And we decided, let's just crack a whole bunch first. So we ain't got to keep cracking them. So we cracked them. We had big piles. Then we decided to have a pecan eating contest. Well, we didn't have nothing to drink. Oh, I should do a whole live. I should do a whole live on Me and my sister's children. It'll be fire. I might just do that. Oh my God. So there's this trial. We got it in there. I can't breathe. It's like sawdust. Oh, we could have killed ourselves so many times. We always came this close to that, either going to the hospital, killing ourselves, or destroying something. We always came this close. You would not believe what little kids will. You would never believe it. That's why you got to put everything up. You would never believe they're going to go do that. I don't believe they did that. They get bored and they trying to figure out something to do. What's going on, Tim? So you all, I'm going to talk about this Diddy situation, okay? Now, I don't like all the gossip part, but right now we're doing the trial and everything. And why I'm talking about this, because I've been watching a lot of lawyers and different people, and everybody's saying, where's the case? They're saying they don't see no case. Lots of people are saying they don't see no case. They don't see no case. They don't see a case. They're saying all of this stuff that they're bringing, they don't believe none of it represents the case. That's what expert lawyers and everything is doing. And lawyers, I got to give them their prop because lawyers are in court a lot. Lawyers are fighting case for defendants a lot and stuff like that. But lawyers do never take it as much as serious as the person being prosecuted. Lawyers are still just at work. Lawyers are still going to go home. Lawyers going to get it off their mind till it's time to come back. They might think about it a couple of days while they prepare. But if you're the one being prosecuted, you can't just get it out your mind, especially if you're locked up like Diddy and you don't get to go home. Now, I've been listening to the trial and everything, and I think it's two parts to this. I think I can't say, I believe they raided him for a lot more serious stuff that involve a lot of people. And so I believe they raided him to retrieve information that they can't afford to get out. That's what I believe. I believe he had the ability to blackmail people, that he had different footage and pictures of people in compromising situations. That's what I believe. So I believe that's what was going on. So I believe that the sincerity of the raid was for what they took from him. Okay. That's why a lot of people feel like they don't have a case because it seemed more urgent when it went down than it seems in court. Everybody's looking at court and saying, this don't match the case. But They're wrong, 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 wrong. Because when you look at the case and you have a certain expectation from the case, and then you don't see that it fit them expectations, that's not because of you looking at the case. That's from you looking at the raid. So the raid, the way that all went down, raised the expectation of how serious it was. So then you thinking from the raid that the case gonna match the way the raid went down, because the raids went down real serious. This is just what I think. The raids went down. The raids went down. And I mean all the way down. So when the raids went down, it looked so serious that when the charges came, I know me, myself, I'm thinking, well, it's going to be a lot of big names in this. So I was first thinking. I was thinking, freak offs. Oh boy, a lot of Hollywood people get ready to be in trouble. Because I just knew a lot of people was going to be involved with this raid. Now, why did many of us assume that? Why did we assume that this raid involved a lot of people? You know why? Because it did. This raid, I believe, involved a lot of people. But what I didn't know is they wasn't going in there to get the stuff to prosecute. They was going to get the stuff to secure it, to hide it, to help these billionaires and millionaires. They went in there and got that evidence. This is just what I believe. I'm not saying this is facts, but this the only thing makes sense to me, because it seemed like the case was like, whoa. And then they got there and started talking. I'm like, well, what is this? This don't match. But after thinking about it, I thought it don't match the charges. But no, I was wrong. The reason I was funny like that, because it doesn't match the raid. The way they raided him, the way they arrested this dude, the way they got the plane and went to all his homes, that's what made me automatically think the charges were based on a lot of people. So a lot of people are saying he gonna walk. He gonna walk. Because everybody thought the charges was up here, and they feel like now the charges is right here. They feel like he's gonna walk. But I don't think he's gonna walk. Because I think whatever they went and grabbed, they got that out the way. But them charges they put on him, they got that. Yeah, it's what I believe. Those charges that they giving him, oh, they got that case. They got that case. Sean, Diddy Combs has been charged with several federal crimes, including racketeering conspiracy. This charge alleges that he used his business to facilitate and hide criminal activities, including sex trafficking and forced labor. The charge carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. We're going to break all this down. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. 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 This alleges he forced 3 women into activity and sex trafficking a 4th. This charge has a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison and a maximum of life. Transportation to engage in prostitution. This charges him with the transporting individuals to engage in prostitution. This carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Now look. Check this out. Now just think about that. Just let that sink in. Look. Racketeering. This charge alleges that he used his business to facilitate and hide criminal activities, including trafficking and forced labor. Right? All right. Now, here go the thing. He met Cassie through his business. He didn't meet her. He didn't meet her on his own. He got her through Bad Boy Records. He used the fact that he can help her music career if she did what he told him to do. Through the record label. You take away the record label, he don't got no power over her because she was trying to get her career off the ground. So he absolutely used the record label in what he was doing. People are saying, hey man, he with a woman, he doing what he want to do. That's not a crime. No, he's not with a woman. He's with a recording artist that's signed to his label. He's with a recording artist that is signed to his label. That's very important. Because that could create a situation where she's doing something she don't want to do for the benefit of her career. He has her life in his hand. You don't got your girlfriend's life in her hands. You don't got no girlfriend you don't give a girlfriend a 10-album deal to string them out to expect a 10-album deal and only drop 1 album. Now, how did they tie that knot? Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or what? Coercion. Hold on. Unless it's me. Unless I'm tripping. Unless I'm tripping. Look. What's the definition? The practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. The practice of persuading someone to do something by force or threats. That is that situation 100%. 100%, that's that situation. 100%. 100%, that's what he did. 100%. Even was terrifying her mother. Made her mother send him $20,000. He's guilty on that. He's guilty. Nobody can say that she was just doing that because she wanted to do it. Everybody that listened to the testimony know he was holding her career over her head, telling her she ain't gonna never get signed nowhere. Nobody ain't gonna do nothing for her if she don't do what he tell her to do. Until he totally made her submit and brainwashed her. So by the time she's brainwashed and doing all this stuff, the fact that she's brainwashed and the fact she started going along with everything just proved that he did what he did. All you did was give her Stockholm Syndrome. That's it. That's all you did. You abused her until she was confused. That's why sometimes she would do what you want to do. Other times she wouldn't want to do it. Run off, everything. Ain't nobody running off if they happy with what you're doing. Not only her, everybody said that he would threaten everybody. They said he would threaten everybody that if he don't like you, you'll never work again. That is coercion. That is a threat. And he beat up a lot of people. That is a threat. He beat up people. He beat up people. He beat up people. You can't beat up people and say they did what they wanted to do. People actually had to go to the hospital because of him. He was actually hurting people. One lady was throwing the apples at her hard as he could. He threw the glass and hit somebody. He threw the hanger, hit one girl in the head, gave her a car. Boy, he going to prison. Boy, he going to prison. He going to prison. Because that stuff a pimp do. That ain't pimp. That ain't what pimps do. Sound like pimping to me. Sound like pimping to me. I sound like Dr. Umar, don't I? Sound like pimping to me. Let me stop saying things. I'm doing Dr. Umar, get on my nerve with that. I ain't finna go that route. Let me not do the Dr. Umar. Let me not do the Dr. Umar. Let me not do the Dr. Umar. Lord have mercy. Yeah, guilty. You're guilty. X trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. 2 counts. This alleges he forced 3 women into these activities and trafficked the 4th one. Now, who is these people? Now, I've been to court, but I haven't been in nothing like this, and I can tell you that they're not expecting this to end to the 4th of July. Right? So you got all the rest of this month. You got all next month. Now think about something. Why so long? She didn't kill the narrative. You wasn't listening to her testimony. She didn't kill the narrative. If you listen to her testimony, you'll find out that by the time she starts saying she wanted to do what she wanted to do, that was way after he had coerced her and threatened her and beat her up. It ain't going to be no 2 people a day because he got a whole next month. Listen, if anybody was listening to that like I was listening to it, if you listen to Casey at the beginning and you listen to the end, it proves that he brainwashed her. Because as a juror, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to see you beating her up in the hallway. And then I'm going to see her do whatever you want her to do. And you can't tell me that she wanted to get beat up. You ain't going to be able to tell me that she wanted to get beat up. But it's highly possible you beating her up. She just got in line. You could take a dog right now. And if you feed that dog every day and take care of that dog, you could beat that dog and hit that dog will still come back. Because you're the one feeding it. You're the one taking care of it. He'll be scared of you. But when it's time to eat or whatever that you got holding over his head, he'll ease back up to you, scared, but he will come. And you can call him and say, I'm sorry, boy, and pet him, and he'll think it's all good, like he was doing her. You could take the dog, you say, oh, boy, I'm sorry, that's what these men be doing. I don't know what's wrong with me, baby. I love you. Boom, boom, boom. And then do it again. So for people to think that automatically she was going to be like, no, I'm not with it with somebody that powerful, and he got her when she like only 20 and he 40, because 20 is not really grown. What I always tell y'all, every 7 years, right? 7, 14, 21. That means she ain't even had the 3rd part when she met him. She was only 20. What I tell you, you're not full grown to what? 28. When she got 28, she started breaking away around that age. But if your daughter 20 years old, listen, if you got a daughter, real talk, y'all. If you got a daughter, go to high school, get out of high school, start working. You kind of deal with them like they older. But if you got a daughter, get out of high school and go to college, you have a tendency to still treat them like you treated them in high school. And your baby not grown until she graduate out of college, which is going to be 22, 23 years old. You don't consider them grown. She was 19. You do not consider your child grown, really, until they're like 27, 28. Even when they get out of college, even at 22, 23, you do not consider them grown like that. I got 6 children. I never considered them grown at that age. They was like the next little thing over teenagers, but I didn't ever consider them full grown. I just didn't. My youngest daughter is like 26, and to me, she still ain't, she trying to get there. But to me, she ain't, you know what I'm saying? She trying to be grown. But for daddy, it's like, she trying to be grown. But I mean, if he was doing that to my daughter, I'd be taking that. That's like you did it to a baby to me. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm 67, so 26, 27 is a long time ago. You're a baby. You ain't full grown until you're 28. And then you just starting to be full grown. And when you get 21, you just starting to be a little grown. Then 28, you starting to be full grown. And that's between 28 and 35 for you there. This dude, 40, beating up a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. Not only that, you a megastar. You a megastar. So it ain't like just anybody doing this. This Diddy, this is a powerful mogul in the music industry. All of that goes under force, fraud, and coercion. All of that. If that ain't force, fraud, and coercion, what is? If you sign my daughter to a 10-album deal and make her do all this stuff and she only get 1 album, that's fraud. That's fraud. You told her one thing and you didn't even have no plans on doing that. That's fraud. If I got some bicycles and I tell you I'm going to sell you 10 bicycles and you give me the money and I bring one and you don't never get to another 9, that's not fraud? That's fraud. That's fraud. It's 100% illegal. I got a record label. And if I would have used my record label in any kind of way to manipulate anything out of my artist, that's fraud. That's coercion and that's illegal. That is illegal. I cannot have you on my record label, abuse of power. I cannot have you on my record label and then got you hypnotized on the record label and got you doing something ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We went out to Seattle Hemp Fest. I told them, don't bring nothing back. Just because we making this kind of music, I'm the record label, don't get nothing, bring nothing in my car, driving back across this country. Now, if I was Diddy, I could have had them fly back dirty. They would have did it. They would have did it. They was young. They would have did it. They would have did it. I could tell them, man, do it like this. They ain't going to find it, man. Ooh, I'll meet y'all back in Chicago. They ain't get arrested. They would have did it. They was young. They would have did it. One of them tried to bring back a big old thing of cookie dough. Medical cookie dough. I said, take it back. I had to let him know, bro, this cookie dough got THC in it. I said, as we driving across different states, you know the laws is different. They got laws where if they just catch you with one joint, you going to prison for 5 years. He ain't know all this. I said, bro, if they catch you with this, and you got 5 pounds of cookie dough. They're going to charge you for 5 pounds of the THC. They're going to charge you. So when I look at the situation, you got to understand, one thing that's irritating is the dude is definitely a criminal, a scumbag, and supposed to be in prison. It ain't no different. Ain't no doubt about that. He had people bringing all type of illegal drugs, all type of stuff, threatening people with guns with the serial numbers off them. The dude is a straight criminal. Straight up. Scumbag. So people saying he's not going to go to prison. The second one, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. This alleges he forced 3 women into activity and trafficked a fourth. This charge has a mandatory minimum 15 years in prison. Now, check this out. They ain't showed these 3 women or this 4th woman. So if I had to bet, he going to prison. You know why I'm saying he ain't going to prison? Because we ain't seen nothing yet. The prosecutor have not shown you this case yet. I didn't talk early too much on this because I have to wait to see the game. I'm telling you, think about it. This case don't end till July the 4th. How many people they finna bring to the stand in 5 or 6 weeks? Think about it. In 5 or 6 weeks, let me ask y'all something. If you was the prosecutor, would you have dropped your bomb yet? When I think about it, the prosecutor is so smart because Cassie seemed like a bomb, don't she? Man, they smart. Think about this. They made you think they dropped their bomb already, didn't they? They telling you she pregnant, so they can't bring her later. Man, nah. They did it smooth. Listen. Nah, they doing this smooth. Nah, they brought her first. Let her paint his character. She painted his character because this would give it away. Look, he trafficked in forced fraud or coercion. This alleges he forced 3 women who and trafficked for who is these 4 women? Who are these 4 women? Who are the 4 women? If you say Casey is one of them, if you say Cassie is one of them, who is the other 3? Now I'm going to show you why I know he going to prison. He going bye-bye. He going to prison. That man is going under the prison. And let me show you why. Let me show you who I know is finna send him to prison. He going to prison. He is going under the prison. Watch this. He going bye-bye. Yeah, he's done. Watch this. He going bye-bye. He gone. I'm going to tell you why. You see this man right here with him? That's Harve, ain't it? Ain't this the man that got on the phone with him and told him he got a young girl and that he gonna fly her to him? She like 15. And then when he got in the plane, didn't this dude have relations with the girl and bring the girl all the way from, I think it was Michigan, right? From Michigan to New York. And didn't he take a picture with that baby on his lap? He gone. This is one of the girls. He trafficked her, and not only that, they did it to her on the plane. This brother did it to her on the plane. Ain't his name Harve something? Hold on. No, Pierre. Yeah, Harve Pierre. Harve Pierre. Let me make sure that's him. Yes. Diddy gone. Diddy gone. Diddy gone. Hold on. Diddy gone. Look. This him right here. He the one bought the girl on the plane. Look what it say. Former bad boy president sued for grooming. And guess why he didn't go to jail? Because he finna tell. He the one. Oh, there it go right there. There it go right there. There it go right there. Oh, he gone. Oh, he gone. He gone. He gone. He gone. Case, he gone. He gone. Because this ain't, Casey ain't got nothing on this. The girl told her mama she was down at her girlfriend's house. They flew that baby on a plane all the way to New York. Listen, they flew that baby on a plane. So when they raided the plane, what did they, boy, listen. They flew that baby from, I think, Michigan or somewhere. I'm going to find out for you and tell you. And flew that baby all the way to New York. And that fool took a picture with that baby on his lap. And guess what? He ain't being charged. So he finna snitch. He finna snitch from Detroit. Look, he finna snitch. He finna snitch. Harve Pierre is finna to turn state's evidence. Because if not, he going to prison, ain't he? Why Harve ain't in prison? He the one found the girl. He found the girl. He called Diddy. Then he told the girl that the only way she's going to meet Diddy is if she let him do what he want to do to her. On my soul, he said that. He made the girl do all kind of stuff to him before they even got to New York. If she didn't please him, he ain't going to take her to meet Diddy. On my soul. And this girl is grown now, and she finna tell. She been subpoenaed. And this fool took a picture with the baby. This fool took a picture. She gonna take the stand. Man, she gonna take the stand. Look, hey, check this out, Vovo. This what give it away. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. This what give it away. Look, number 2, trafficking and forced fraud and coercion. This alleges he forced 3 women. Who is the 3 women? Into activity and trafficked the 4th. Who did he traffic? That's what give it away. This who he trafficked. Put her on a plane and flew her there just for that. There was no record deal. There was nothing. Made her do it on the plane. To do. The statute of limitations is gone. That's why they got R. Kelly. They're not doing that no more. They're not doing that. If you mess with a kid, it's on forever. Because they saying if a kid get messed with, the kid ain't grown. So the kid can't prosecute. But they saying as soon as the kid get grown, the kid can prosecute. It don't matter if you did it to them when they was 3. They saying the fact you messed with a kid when they was 3 and the kid wasn't grown enough to take it to court on their own, they say once they become an adult, they can go and tell. Like you did it to me when I was 3. Because all them Catholic priests, they had to do that because all them Catholic priests was doing them kids at the schools. So they had to do that. Man, there's hundreds of Catholic priests. It's a picture of all of them. Hey, I just looked at this just before I went live, y'all. Because you know I be preparing just before I talk to y'all. So I don't be knowing what the details be. Whatever the details, I'm gonna come tell you. I ain't find nothing, this and that. I just looked into this. Now think about this. I only looked into this for 30, 45 minutes, and look what I done found. Tell me he not going to prison. Tell me they got 4 women, one of them trafficked, that got to come up. And it ain't over till the 4th of July. Boy, he going to prison. Who finna come to the stand the rest of this month and all next month? This is just common sense. They got some stuff. The prosecution. Now, mind you, listen, y'all. Y'all watched the YSL trial? Remember how bootleg they was looking in Atlanta? You know, all the justice departments and stuff watched that Atlanta trial. Now ask me something. How you think New York coming? Look, as bootleg, the judge got fired. in Atlanta, the judge got fired. No, just be realistic. This New York City. Diddy went and got Steele in them. But what you understand, stealing them is cool. Stealing them is good in small towns and different places where you can get good defendant, good attorneys, defense attorneys. But boy, these big cities got good prosecutors. Okay, they got the prosecutors of the prosecutors. These ain't no little, New York is where you go to learn law. New York law is where all the law students want to go. Thanks for that, G-Ra. Because I used to pick up a lot of lawyers when I was driving Uber. And one I picked up and he said, yeah, everybody trying to get in New York law, and only so many people could get in there, to the point where they'll tear a page out the law book. They study it so you can't study it, so you get a lower score. It's like dog eat dog to come out at the top of the country as a lawyer. So you can go to New York law. Man, listen, I go by everything. They said they got 4 people. They said 1 was trafficking. So they're not talking about Casey or Cassie. They talking about this baby. They talking about this baby. And when that girl go to stand and they put that picture up there, and that girl tell how old she was and how she lied to her mama and all that, and what the man did to her on the plane and all that, he going to prison. It ain't nobody in that jury gonna let him go home. Ain't nobody in that jury gonna let him go home. And look, he was intoxicated then. He was on something then. That boy been taking stuff. What fool use a jet to fly a baby when you're in New York and it's a billion women? It's a billion women. You in New York with all the fine ladies. And you so sick because she don't look like nothing. Look at her. Look at her chest. It's a little girl. How? I can't even get excited for her. She wouldn't do nothing for me. Lady Lioness, this little girl would turn me off. A little baby like that. She is not sexy. This baby is not sexy. Unless I'm crazy. We don't even talk to grown women that's all shaped like that. This stuff didn't pop out right. We like, nah. Even if she was grown, we would pass her. I'm just telling you, I don't see nothing there. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. And then I got 3 daughters. This man got daughters, man. Listen, this man is crazy. Because it ain't no man with daughters could do none of this. When you got daughters, typically, you don't even like young women. I ain't gonna lie. You don't like nothing close around your daughter age. Now, Faith, I gotta admit, at this time, his babies was little, so he couldn't compare them. I gotta give him that part. It ain't like, your daughters is seniors and in college, and then you messing with her. So maybe that's it, but still, I can't relate to being into the music business and stupid down in the grade schools, in the high schools. I can't relate. But see, they've been doing that in New York. Because the girl said Fat Joe and Big Pun and them would come up to the school and pick them up. You know what I'm saying? So the prosecution is cold, though. I'm just thinking back at the prosecution. They so cold. Because the way they put Cassie up there and the way things turned out, it just put everybody to sleep. They're like, oh, this ain't no case. You know, that's slick. You know what I mean? Compared to back then where young age girls looking grown like they do now to the point, no. Young girls don't never look grown, even today. Young girls don't look grown. Still today, they don't look grown. Dudes just saying that stuff. When them young girls go put all them eyelashes, still look like a little young girl put on some stuff, trying to look. When you look at them, they look like they trying to look grown. They do not look grown. Not at all. Look, man, ain't no way you're going to meet no girl and fly her all the way to New York. No young girl like that. Everybody know. Everybody know that they got to say, we got to see some ID. And everybody know that if I go and there's 3 girls and one look like that and another one's older and thicker and another one's older and thicker, they know I'm going to go for the older and thicker one. Ain't nobody going for the baby. Period. Just even the fact, listen, let's break this stuff down. G.R., that's a good question. Let's break this down. All men know women's ages. You know how old they are. You know why? Because when you was in 6th grade, who would you try to talk to? 5th graders and 6th graders. When you was in high school, who you was around for 4 years in high school? High school girls. So you know a high school girl when you see her. Because the girls don't even start to kind of even look good until they juniors and seniors, and they still look like kids. When you go to school and you first go to high school, you go to 4 years together. The girls you go to school with, they look like 8th graders. Y'all still look like 8th graders. Just because y'all freshmen, y'all don't stop looking like 8th graders. Y'all don't stop looking like 8th graders. And them girls still look like kids. Everybody at the school look like a kid. Okay, people say girls. What about boys? Let me tell you something. What about a boy? You can't tell a boy look like a senior. A boy 18 do not look 20-something at all. Not close. They don't look. As a matter of fact, look at Shaq in college and look at Shaq 5 years after he got an NBA. Look like the same dude. Even college students, you can tell. I ain't never seen no girl, no young girl that looked the right age. I ain't never seen it before. I ain't never seen the young girl that looked old enough in my life. I've never seen one, ever. I've seen lots of women. I've never seen no 17, 18-year-old that look grown in my life. Never. She ain't look like that. If you could tell she was still young, you just telling on yourself. You going by her body shape. I'm talking about the whole girl. You ain't never seen. I have never seen. I'm not going by how her body shape. That don't listen. Just because she got big breasts, that do not make her look older. Not at all. That I'm telling you the facts. I went to school with some fine girls, but they was not grown fine. They was never grown fine. A girl you went to school with in her senior year, when you see her when she's 25, it ain't no big difference. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. A 19-year-old do not look grown. Not at all. How you around? Only man that gonna think a 19-year-old look good is a man that ain't around no other women. You ain't around no other women, because if you're around grown women and then you see these, you ain't gonna want them. You ain't gonna want them. Because all them is babies, like sophomores in college, freshmen in college, seniors and juniors. Them all the same. Junior, senior, freshman in college, them all look like kids. All of them. All of them. A girl that's a freshman in college do not look grown. She don't look like that. She don't got it. She ain't got it. You can see. These dudes want him like that for you to be excited. Look, let's just take your natural instinct. See, he say he sees some thick girls. I ain't say nothing about thick. You could be fat. See what I'm saying? It ain't no thick girl that look her age. If she young, she just gonna be a thick young girl. She not gonna look like no damn adult. Y'all need to stop. Who y'all think y'all talking to? So y'all telling me when I went to high school, some of them girls wasn't thick? They was thick. But they still look like kids. It look like a thick kid. It do not look like no woman. You got the skinny girls, you got the medium girls, you got the girls got some shape, but they don't look like they look young. They look like kids. That's when you get into when people start talking about her body, this and that, that's when you get into the pervs. That's the pervs. That's the pedophiles. When they start talking about, yeah, but her body, yeah, her body, yeah, but see, they leave out, her body look good to me. Say that part so we can know you're a pedo. The fact the body look good to you says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't look good to me if I'm no grown man. The only way a thick senior look good to me is if I'm a senior. Maybe if I'm a freshman in college. But as a grown man, when I was like 22, 23, 24, oh, hell, listen. Am I the only real, listen. Let's get it straight. A real man, when he get 21 or 22, you know what women look good to him? 25, 26, 27, 28. We looking at the ladies. We looking at the ladies. We not looking at, no. So I don't know if it's men over here, but I know when I got out of high school, I started working at the stock exchange. I'm trying to holler at fine women. I don't know how old they is, but I know how young they ain't. Because them young girls do not look like what I'm looking at. I don't know what you're talking about in your day, because I've been living every day. I want to hear in your day. How you going to come tell me in your day and I live in every day? I could say in my day, because you wasn't here. But in your day, I was here. What is we doing? Why keep people telling me your day? What was your day? I was here in your day. I've been here since 1958. When was your day? Because whatever day you're talking about, I got a child in that day. I got 6 children in all y'all days. And ain't nobody they went to school with, and ain't nobody up at their school look like no woman. They look like kids. They look like kids. That type of activity, G-Mix, come from project builders and stuff like that. You can't do that where people got houses. I grew up with houses. We had homes. Now you can't squirm around like you can in them buildings. I don't know. All I'm doing is keeping it what I'm keeping it in. Anybody want to come and try to promote or try to push the other stuff, that's on you. I'm pushing against it. So if you want to come with excuses to do it and who can do it and all that, that's on you. I'm not doing none of that. Y'all have that. I'm just anti. I'm talking as anti. All I know is it's a no-no. I don't want to hear who did it, all that. I don't want to hear that, because to me, you know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? If I'm around a brother and I say, man, he filed for that, and he'd be like, and he say, man, Pharaoh, I got you, G-Mix. He say, man, Pharaoh, but some on that, I'm gonna be looking at you crazy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm around a brother, I'm gonna keep it real. And I say, man, he foul, man, them girls look little and all that. And the brothers be like, yeah, but someone be looking older, Pharaoh. I'm gonna be like, wait a little while, I'll be like, oh man, listen, I gotta go run and do something. Boom, 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 boom. That's the last time you ever gonna be around me. That's the only time you're gonna be around me, because you just told on yourself. You with it. In the streets, you with it or you're not with it. We don't do down the middle. You with it. You just told me you with it. All right, I gotta go. You with it. Because it's a no-no. Like I said, I got 3 daughters. I don't play that. I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? Then in the streets, we like this. And you get money, we really look crazy on you. You don't get no respect. You get money and you going down this way, and you get money where you could do all this, and you going back to the high school? Are you serious? That's what you get money for? Man, let me tell you something, man. If that would have been one of my daughters and stuff, and Diddy would have pulled that, man, it wouldn't even be no trial. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now just think about it. If you trying to work, you trying to get some money, one day you dream you want to have some serious money. Now, any brother over here, if you got some serious money, things happen for you. You got a private jet. Would you fly this in? Let me know who's a sucker. You'll go and use all this money to get big like that. You'll fly a teenager in? Who will get money to fly a teenager in? Cause let me see what's going on here. That's the last thing we thinking. to get money and go fly a girl from high school. Oh, wow. Look, man, let's keep it $1 billion. Hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you something. The man even had Biggie doing it. The man had Biggie doing it. She's 14. He's sitting there with the blunt in his hand. Sitting there with the blunt in his hand. Sure did, Thomas. I was with this girl. She told me she was 20 years old, right? She told me she was 20 years old. I'm hanging out with her, buying her tennis shoes and stuff. And mama told me she's 18 years old. She told me she's finna be 21. Real talk. I'm like, no, this is, no. That's why I told that story. I'll be keeping my stuff on the real. I didn't mess with, hey, this is not popping. I buy you shoes and shit like that, but we can't be no couple. That's why I told her, Thomas. I told her, we can't be no couple. We can't be no couple. Straight up, Thomas, that's what I told her. I said, we can't, no, this ain't happening. That's why I tell that story. She ain't done. I had another situation where I had a party and there was a girl there. It was a girl there, and when I check her, this girl, like 17 or something, I'm like, who bought this girl here? Man, who bought this girl? Man, who bought this girl here? And the girl was technically old enough, right? Because she was 18 going on 19, but right? She was 18 going 19, but it wasn't nothing I could deal with that. I can't deal with that. What I'm gonna do with that? And she want to go do like 18, 19-year-old stuff, and I'm 40. I don't do 18, 19-year-old stuff. What I'm gonna do with you? What I'm gonna do with her? I told her like this. I know why she was hanging around. She wanted. I said, I'll buy you if you go and register in the school. I'll give you money to buy shoes and all that stuff. But I can't mess with you. And then I end up being with my wife that I had my youngest daughter by. I ain't mess with that lady. I ain't mess with that girl. Hell no. As a matter of fact, somebody bought her to me with their girlfriend. It was one of the situations where one of my friends, he was with a girl like 20. She said she was 22, 23, something like that. They came together, so she was able to camouflage with the 23-year-old. Because there ain't no way I would have talked to her. Somebody brought her to my apartment. And listen, that I got social things I like to do. So you got to be at the age for me to do social things. If you ain't in my social category, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So without somebody bringing her, ain't no way I would have been able to even meet her because I guess I would have had to go to meet her. I would have had to go somewhere creepy to meet her, somewhere I ain't gonna be. That's why I always tell that story. I tell that story so brothers be careful. But that ain't the story that was a problem because she was still legal. The story was a problem was when they brought that 17-year-old girl to my house. And she was 17. There was a bunch of girls at my apartment. I was having like these parties at my apartment. It was a bunch of girls. And somebody brought this girl. And I ain't see her because I'm hosting and all these people. Saw all these different girls. And she was just there with another girl. And then when I focused on her, I was like, you could tell. I'm like, come here. How old are you? So that's my point. As a matter of fact, the girl that I was going to deal with, that was told me she was 19 going on 20, something like that, that was 18, she didn't really look mature like that. She didn't. Because I met her, I ran into her like 4 years later when she was really a woman. At that age, she didn't look, she ain't look like that. Yeah, she wasn't that. That wasn't gonna be no relationship with that right there. What I'm gonna do with that? And you think I would go fly somebody in like that? Like fly? I wouldn't fly no 18-year-old, no 17-year-old, nobody. I wouldn't fly nobody like that. I wouldn't pursue nobody like that. They wouldn't be they wouldn't catch my attention. And so with this trial, hey, he going to prison. At first, I was like, what is this? But then I did some research and said, okay, this trial don't end. They saying the 4th of July. So I'm like, oh, they got a lot of people coming. Oh, it's gonna be a problem. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak on all that, Bobo. If my daughter's grown, she gonna do what she wanna do. You know what I'm saying? So I can't talk about my daughter's grown. I can't talk about no man that would marry her or none of that. All I can talk about is me and how I ain't really with that. Now my thing is this though: if a man is 39 with my daughter and it's any problems, it's gonna be a problem. So if my daughter's 21 and you 39, you know what I'm saying? First off, I ain't gonna want my daughter to marry you. Because I'm gonna tell my daughter you a loser. So it might not really happen. Because I'm looking at you like you 39. It's all these women out here. What you see in my baby, she only 21. So I might have to put my arms around you and let's go have a little talk. I might gotta make you an offer you can't refuse. And you might, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to want my daughter to be with no loser like that. It's just like I ain't going to trust him. I ain't going to trust him. I'm going to look at him like he trying to manipulate somebody younger than him. So I ain't going to trust him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be like, you going to try to play my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me tell you something. Don't let me see you again. That's how that'll go. Don't let me see you again. Now, if she's much, much older and she hard-headed, then it is what it is. But at 21, I'm going to be really, really very protective. I ain't going to let mine just marry no 40-year-old dude, not at no 21 years old. I can't see it. I don't care about no age gap or nothing. All I know is my baby, she ain't even college age yet. She just would have been going to college 19, 20, 21. She wouldn't be graduated college yet. What do you want with her? Is she going to go to school? Because when you got children, you're trying to get them to college. You ain't trying to get them married. So that's weird in itself. My daughter just graduated medical school. I wasn't trying to get her married. I was trying to get her where she could take care of herself and feed herself. If your daughter 21 years old and married 39, what's she going to be doing? Washing dishes? What's she going to work at? She going to be broke all her life depending on him? What type of education she going to have? I mean, let's keep this shit real. What kind of parent would you be if you wasn't trying to get your baby in school? You're going to let a 39-year-old man marry your baby before she get education? Really? Ain't no way. I don't know, man. I ain't doing all that. I ain't never, listen, man. I ain't never did all that weirdo stuff like that. So I don't know what y'all to do. I've been in long relationships. The only time I was even dating when I got older is when I got out the county jail and I wanted to leave my wife. And I was fighting the case. I'm looking at 8 to 40. So I was like, I ain't even finna be free necessarily. So that's when I was living. But I still didn't want no kids or nobody too young. You had to have some age on you or something to even hang around me. Because for one, it's uncomfortable. Like the girl I said was 18, it was uncomfortable because she wanted tennis shoes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really comfortable with it anyway. It was good not to really have to deal with her and really become no couple. And we didn't really become no couple. I had just met her. So we really didn't become no couple because I just didn't like her. Yeah, I didn't like her. Like, we wasn't no same. It wasn't nothing the same. That's why I tell y'all that story. I ain't really like her like that. She was too young. She want to buy sneakers and shit like that. And then if she 18 going on 19, she got little 19, 20-year-old chasing after her. What I look like competing with them? They going to the movies. Hell no. Hell no. That shit wasn't going. That shit was whack. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it was whack because it's like little boys like her, you know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do with her? That's why, like, look, listen. If you get in school, I'll buy you some sneakers and everything, but go to school. You don't need to be here. You definitely ain't finna be with me. You're not finna be with me. What I'm gonna do with you? Now, when I seen her like 3 years later, that's different. I was like, whoa. She was fine. She was grown. That was different. But by then, I was already in a serious relationship. She wasn't that fine, not as fine as what I was dealing with. Okay, that's another thing. What I went to, it wasn't no comparison. Let's start there too. Let's get that part straight. What I ended up with, nah, she couldn't cut none of that. I just said she, she wasn't. I leave that part out. Yeah, yeah. What I chose, nah, it's like night and day. Okay, I'm just saying. So I wanted to talk about this because Diddy's going to prison. I'm sure of it. Diddy's going to prison because there's a whole 6 weeks left. Five, well, about five, maybe a little more than 5 weeks. And if you know anything about these prosecutors and stuff, that means there's a lot of people coming up in 5 weeks. And when they found out Cassie was pregnant, you better believe they got 3 or 4 bombshells, 3 super bombs. Well, all they did was move her here, but they got some bombs because they're not going to go and grab nobody like Diddy and lose that case. That's why once they did the raids, they didn't grab him. They didn't grab him after this. They waited until it was airtight. And he gonna tell everything. He is going to tell everything. He's not the guy that testified yet, is he? Because some guy worked for him tall. Because they said somebody testified. Brendan. Did Brendan testify yet? Anybody know? He didn't testify. Yeah, that's going to send him to prison too. That's going to send him to prison too. That's Diddy's assistant. I thought they interviewed one of his assistants. Is that the one they interviewed? They just interviewed one of his assistants, though, didn't they? Somebody else? They said they just interviewed somebody the other day that said he was Diddy's assistant. It was a great opportunity. He didn't want to take the stand. Let me see. Nope, he ain't testified. When he testifies, man. Nope, I don't think he testified. Good. Prosecutor in the case against Sean Diddy said they have been unable to contact a key witness to confirm her appearance and testimony during the trial. That's a lady. But what about I don't think he testified yet. I don't think he testified, but he gonna tell everything. Okay, this the guy they saying is the mule that carried the illegal stuff for him. He gonna tell everything. And man, Diddy going to prison. I wasn't sure. I had to look into it. And once I looked into it, just a few minutes, I was like, he's going to prison because look, another thing. If he go to prison, will they put him in population? That'll be on him. That depends on where they send him. That depends on what they charge him with, where they send him. But usually, yeah, you're gonna go in there just like R. Kelly went in there. You ain't getting no special treatment like that. You're a convict now. You ain't nobody. You ain't Diddy no more. You number 4578962. You not Diddy no more. They don't care nothing about that. Unless something happened and you request to go to PC. If something happened, you request to go to PC, they'll put you in PC. But PC ain't PC though. It's still prison. It's wolves in PC. It's wolves in PC that just got beat up by other wolves and chased to PC. It's some strong, it's some low down people in PC. It's still prison. He probably going because he's just so sloppy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody might rat on him. D-Rock might come in there and rat on him. See, if they get stuff on these other dudes, they going to tell. They going to tell. They still ain't told us everything they found in the house and on them searches. We don't know what they found on them houses and them searches. But I know this. They need to silence him. I tell you that. He ain't walking. He ain't walking because he know too much. Because like I told y'all, I believe they got stuff. And I believe he was in a position to blackmail and all that. I believe he was such a scumbag. I believe he had the information that he could blackmail people and stuff. Because why was he so powerful? He ain't no bigger than no other musician. What did he have that made them not touch him all this time? Because anybody else would have been in prison. I believe that he had tapes of people. I believe he had tapes. And I believe that they've covered it up and going to lock him up and silence him. Because did you see the Cassie the hotel tape? All right, think about this. Wasn't nobody in none of them rooms. You know that, right? That whole floor was rented out. Now, if that whole floor was rented out and the cleaning people was trying to clean a little bit and stuff when it was time for them to go, it's a high possibility that all them rooms had people in it. They not going to show us all the footage for 3 days in that hotel hallway. Because that whole floor was rented out. Because when he chased her and was beating her up, not nobody came out. Nobody. They was running through that whole hallway, up and down, crossway and crossway. Nobody never opened their door. Nobody came out. Them rooms was empty. So my question is, did he rent it all out and have it empty so he can have the whole floor? Or was there other people in them rooms and they had all went home and that's when she tried to sneak out? When there wasn't nobody else there. By the time he beat her up and stuff, the freak off was over. But who was there? And you know, for the money, they will send the feds on him to go get everybody else's tape so he can't extort everybody and just keep the information on him. They'll go get all the information. They'll take the information that's going to find him guilty and they'll hide everybody else's information. Because all them rooms, I don't believe all them rooms empty. I believe everybody was gone. I believe that whole floor was the freak off. I always believed the freak off was a lot of people. And I'm going to say that over and over again. They trying to make you think a freak off was just him and Casey and somebody. And that's why people saying the case is weak, because everybody just knew that a freak off was a freak off. Nobody thought it was just an orgy with 3 people. And I don't believe it is. They hiding that information. They protecting people. That's why Casey's on the stand was so weird. Because she had to kind of tell on Puff, but she couldn't tell everything. She couldn't tell on the other people. She couldn't tell on all the celebrities and stuff that was at that stuff. She had already been let know. Don't mention nobody else. Just mention the worker that he hired for you to do it with and him. Don't you mention nobody else. That's why her testimony is so weird like that. She's leaving something out. And what she's leaving out, she's trying to make us think that just her and him and another dude is a freak off. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. This is the biggest cover up. This is a huge cover up. They are hiding people. They hiding people. Because there was nobody on that floor. If he was up and down there like that, anybody in the room, they would open their door. What the heck is going on? Wasn't nobody on that whole floor. That floor was empty. Because if somebody was in that floor, as soon as the break would have came, they would have hit the elevator and got out of there. And you ever notice the elevator didn't never come up? She was waiting on the elevator. He beat up everything. I ain't never seen the elevator come. If it did come, the door open and close, I didn't see it. Nobody never got out of it, and nobody never moved, and no room up there. Because when I seen, I said, dang, he rented the whole floor. As soon as I seen the video, I was like, dang, he rented the whole floor, because it just looked deserted. How you on always doing all this? That's because ain't nobody in none of them rooms. Don't y'all wonder why he was so comfortable doing that? That when nobody film it or see it, it wasn't nobody up there. It wasn't nobody up there. That's why he didn't go to jail. That's why he didn't get in trouble. Because as long as they kept it between security and Casey and them, it never happened. But if it would have been some other people, they would have called the police. If there was anybody else on that floor, the police would have came. That floor was empty. Now the question is, was it always empty, or had they went home already? If I had to bet, they went home. And they done raided his house, and they done took everybody else's pictures and all them tapes he got of everybody else, and they done took them so that these rich people won't be exposed. And they finna lock him up. Because he might have been trying to blackmail them. So therefore, they really gonna lock him up. Look, if he was trying to blackmail some famous people, it's a wrap for him. If he was trying to blackmail and had different people at them freak-offs and recorded it without them knowing it, because in some cases, he was going in the next room and recording. So he like the kind of dude that'll go get the whole hotel, wire it all up, then have you come and you going in all these rooms, but he wired, he watching you. He recording you now, he got to blackmail. If he trying to blackmail them, they gonna storm his crib, right? They gonna get all the evidence. They gonna wait and make sure they got everything. And then they gonna grab him. And if they grab him, he'll never see the light of day again. If they grab him, he'll never come because he can't tell. They got to make sure he don't talk. I do not believe what they showing us. There's way more people involved in that. He going to jail because he tried to extort somebody. I bet you. I bet you. He had got so much using them drugs. It got so high on the hog, he started talking crazy to the liquor company. He started talking crazy then. He started thinking he was really that. He started thinking he was really John Gotti or somebody. Scarface or something. He really started. And he ain't got no money like they got. If they want to, they could take everything he got, depending on the level of the case and how they want to do the case. It's the feds. They do whatever the hell they want to do. They can write up section 49899. You're dealing with people that could, he thinking he the big boss. Now he dealing with the bosses for real. He dealing with some real boss stuff. He think he can run over people. Okay, he gonna see what it's like to run over people. Dealing with the justice system. I don't know. But he definitely gonna lose this case. I just had to think about it. Because I was like, I had to think about it. And when I'm thinking about it, and they talk about a whole 5 more weeks, he going to prison. Because they not finna have no 5 more weeks unless they got some fire. They got some fire. They got some fire for him. And just think about it. After all that stuff Casey said about him, it's easy now. Every time somebody say something about him, it's a wrap. People saying she's pregnant and all that, but the prosecutor's smart. Because guess what? She was the perfect person to go first. She don't have to get him locked up. All she did was paint his character. And now then came out, he was throwing apples at the lady, he hit the lady. It came out that he was a monster, that he might have did that to Kid Cudi Carter. He was talking crazy, that he was trying to threaten everybody. So from here on out, come on. It's just nails in the coffin. They didn't put him in the coffin. They just got nailed the top shut. Everything bad about him not going to look realistic. They already losing. They losing already. You say, why I say losing? When Kid Cudi, when the prosecution got through with Kid Cudi and the defense won't get up, Diddy told him no. Hey, everybody's saying it. When the prosecution got finished with Kid Cudi and the defense was going to get up and get Kid Cudi, Diddy told him no. Diddy told him no. Oh, yeah, the dog, it's a rap, ain't it, Lady Linus? He heard the dog, it's a rap. But did y'all know that? Did y'all know that they didn't let the defense get a Kid Cudi? Diddy told him don't in front of everybody. Man, let me tell you, the defense is probably pissed. The defense probably like, lock him up. He trying to boss the defense. He didn't even let the defense do their job. Listen, I swear to God, the man didn't even let the defense do their job. Embarrassed them in front of everybody. Seen it. I've been watching people that just talked about it, that was there. Gene Deal was in there. He said when the defense got ready to get up, right? Diddy told him no. Because they said everybody in there liked Kid Cudi. Gene Deal said he believed that Puffy's such an egomaniac that he didn't like the fact that Kid Cudi was still in the show, that he wanted to be the star of the show. I said he probably just that sick too. I said, hell, that was crazy. Gene Deal say Puffy so messed up that when he synced, everybody in there liked Kid Cudi, and Kid Cudi had everybody listening and enjoyed him. Diddy wanted him hurry up and get him out of here. Didn't even let the defense do their job. And if you've been to court and you know something about lawyers, it ain't nothing they hate more than the client getting in the way. That's how you know Diddy is a nut. Diddy is a nut. Diddy is a nut. There's nobody that's got a case, that's fighting a case, that get the best attorneys in the world, gonna tell them don't do their job. But a nut. He proved he's an egomaniac right in front of court. They said, he just think he can tell everybody what to do. He told his own attorneys to sit down. To don't. I said, this fool going to prison forever. It looked like Diddy got mental illness from all the substance abuse. And he probably got issues from his childhood. Because they say his mother was tripped out for real. Like on that, they didn't want to say she was on that same type of time, but they insinuated that his mama was on all of that. Who set his car on fire? Come on, man, let me tell you something. Men die over females. Females, man. Females, you lose your life over a female. That's an absolute fact. People try to play it down and all that, but a man and a female, that's a problem. Because that's an ancient bond. And a female is a man's number one possession. Some women don't understand that. A female is ours. It's something we own. They try to teach you, it's even. No, it's not even me and a woman because she feminine, I'm masculine, I'm dominant. She not dominant. So in that man, a female belong to us. That's why some marriages don't work because she still want to think she belong to herself. And you don't belong to yourself, you belong to me. That's a fact. That's how men are. If you're a woman and you want to have a happy marriage, you want to be with a man all the time, let him own you. As long as he ain't abusing you, what the hell do you care if he taking care of you? And he said you belong to him, and because you belong to him, he taking care of you. What the hell do you care? Now, if he mean and cruel, that's different. But you can't have a man that's not dominant, don't want to own you because that's not going to work. Because that man is the one guy supposed to put his life on the line. So what you mean on you? What he putting his life on the line for? If I'm there with my wife and my children, and somebody trying to break in the house, I grab the thing and I go try to see what's going on. How you mean I don't own them? I'm the one defending them. So a lot of women mix that up. You don't want me to own you until your life is in danger. Now all of a sudden it's my responsibility to protect you. Wait a minute. I'm not protecting something I don't own. I protect my cock, I own it. I protect my dog, I own it. I protect my house, I own it. I protect my family, I own them. You can't have it both ways. Now, if I don't own you and you freelancing, then you get a thing and come down here too and get the criminal. Why I gotta put my life on the line and you ain't even man? Make it make some sense. And why you fight nature? This is nature. You can look anywhere. You can go look at some bears in the habitat. The male grizzly bear own everybody, even the other bears if they live in a group. There's a head bear, gorilla. There's a head silverback, and everybody there belong to him. Okay? Everybody belong to him. And if you come up there, he finna defend everybody. Don't come up there messing with his stuff. I don't know, it could, Alden, but most likely he'll be found guilty, and then they'll take him and they'll sentence him for the Tupac murder. Most likely. Yeah, most likely. Most likely he'll be found guilty. He'll go to prison. They'll announce he been charged with the Tupac murder. They're gonna take him to Vegas and give him that case too. Because you see, him and Suge, right? Him and Suge had the opportunity to go and do some really good things. But they took their power and they used their power for a whole lot of negative stuff. Suge trying to sleep with everybody woman, bragging still. So it ain't no coincidence both of them in prison. So that's why when the brothers be saying, oh, the negative rap this and negative rap that, that's why you hear me say that, because you got to let everything play out. In this world, in this life, you got to let everything play out the way it play out. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's going to play out. So it ain't no need of you being upset about negative rap. Let negative rap destroy negative rap. Let it play out. Let it play out. If you don't let it play out, it'll stay longer. If you try to get rid of it, you ain't going to do a good job. The only thing going to get rid of it is when it get rid of itself. You can't get rid of it. So ain't no need to keep crying about it. Let it play out. It'll play out. Everything got to happen in the right season. Can't help it when you want to do it. Diddy and Suge went and did all that. Look at both of them. They was the both two at the top. Diddy and Suge was the two at the top. And instead of them working together, they was beefing. Murder Inc. Dude was negative. Everything was negative with him. Harve got it. He was a nasty person. Just always nasty. Harve, he was so nasty acting. Jay Prince, another nasty weirdo, want to be the super gangster of the world. All you got to do is look at him. Baby, another one. Weirdo. Nasty, kissing Lil Wayne and all that. Look at all of them. Look at every last one of them. Not a one of them do anything for the black community. Not a one of them get together. They couldn't get together and do nothing for the community because they too busy beefing with each other. That's all they do. Beef with each other. Whereas the white record labels, they all work together. Universal and all of them, they work together. All of them. The three big white record labels, they all work together. I forgot which one. I know Universal is the big one. And then everybody is two others, and they all work under each other. Look it up. Universal is the big one, and the other two, they all friends. They all work together. Same thing in Hollywood. There's 5 Hollywood studios. They all work together. And whoever's the biggest one, they acknowledge it's the biggest one, and they all play their roles. And if you piss off one Hollywood studio, none of the others will hire you. If you do him wrong, these 4 will not hire you. If you do him wrong, these 4 will not hire you. If you disrespect one of their comrades, you will not ever work again. That's why they tell you that. Do me wrong, and you'll never work again in this town. Yeah, it's Universal Interscope and one more. Universal Interscope, and there's one more. I forgot the third one. There's one more. And they all work together. You said we bring street life and everything. The whites did too, but they ahead of us. So the reason the black people keep making a mistake, right? Black people keep making a mistake because we behind. So we making a mistake now that the whites already made. The whites already made that. They already had their Al Capone. They already had their gangsters. They had that one dude. He was extorting every record. He was extorting every radio station, every record store. So they did the same thing. But they had us on bondage and had us down. So we behind. So the whites come up, make a mistake, fix it. Boom. Then we come up, make a mistake, and then they take advantage of our mistake because we coming up under them. Everybody did the same thing. They did the same thing we doing. Better believe it. Look at Al Capone, went to jail for tax evasion. He was tripping. Had the world in his hand, threw it away. But I just wanted to talk about this because it's crazy the way they did our minds, because the raids made us think it was a bunch of people, but it was a bunch of people, but they took the evidence and hid a bunch of people and trumped up this real case, but it's not the original case. Come with the smaller case against Diddy. It got him in a trick bag where the evidence and whatever he got, he can't extort nobody. Because that fool was all on the phone from the jail talking about to his son, did you get rid of the pizza boxes? See what I'm saying? That just show you right there. It's more to it. What is the pizza boxes? And when I'm first looking at it, I'm not thinking about all that because they like play with our minds. They had us thinking it was this big Rico, that the freak offs was all these celebrities and stuff. They got evidence. Then all of a sudden they wait a long time, then they arrest him. And then all of a sudden the freak offs changed to just a few people after they done buried all the original evidence. It's crazy. That's why the trial looked like it didn't make no sense. But they worked that evidence and buried the evidence of all these other celebrities and just brought out the evidence that just get Diddy by himself. And he finna be the sacrificial lamb because he was in the way. He was stupid anyway, thinking he can compete with them Europeans and do a bunch of foul stuff. You know what I'm saying? Blew up his own empire because he was hating on everybody. He's one of the worst people ever get in the music business. For black people, you put a black man in there and he the main one hate on all the other labels, blocking everybody. He always been a scumbag. He wasn't never positive in a day in his life. That's for real. So that's what's going on with that, man. It's gonna get ugly, man. It's gonna get ugly. Trust me what I'm telling you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Watch these next 5 or 6 weeks. Ooh-wee. Ooh. He didn't win and got them attorneys, but this prosecution set, watch them. It's gonna be historical. He gonna pay. Oh man, let me tell you, man. It's the next 5 weeks. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. First, I didn't understand. Then I'm thinking before I came live, but I'm looking at everything. I'm like, oh, she wasn't the best information anyway. Everybody assuming she would have testified last. No, she wouldn't have. She testified just where she was going to testify at. They're going to bring that little girl out. They're going to bring this girl out somewhere. I don't know when they're going to bring her out, but when they bring her out, this going to be the bombshell. Because think about it. He was messing with her when she was younger than Casey, right? So imagine if they come out and they show you all this horrible stuff he did to Casey. And then imagine they come back in front of the jury and show this little girl. They're going to be imagine all that stuff he did to Casey. They're going to be imagine him with this 16-year-old. They're going to be pissed. And they're going to be like, oh, so you've been acting like this. They're going to be like, oh, so you been acting like this. And then ain't no telling what she going to say. Because like I said, dude did all type of stuff to her on the plane, told her she need to do whatever he tell her to do, or she ain't going to get to meet Diddy. Think about that. He called Diddy and said, I got this girl here, this young girl. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is crazy. The dude on your left with the blue jacket on, he called Diddy and said, I got this young girl. Diddy told him, bring her. Then he made the girl do all type of stuff to even be able to get on the plane and go. Say, okay, I'm going to take you to meet Diddy, but you got to do me first. That's what he did. He going under the whole prison. Man going under the whole prison. And then they talking about Aaron Hall missing. Yeah, right. Y'all know where he is. Protective custody on witness. Ain't nobody seen Aaron Hall. Where's Aaron Hall? Where's Aaron Hall? I'll tell you where he's at. Man, the rest of this case gonna be so nasty. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be horrible. I gotta like get my mind ready because it's gonna be a lot. I think it's gonna be emotional for me. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be emotional for me because I can't take no lot of abuse or misuse in the youth like that. I can't. That get me real. I'll be real angry. I'm gonna have anger issues watching this stuff. Come on, man, you doing them like that. You know what I'm saying? Are you kidding me? You know? I don't know, man. This world is getting worse and worse. Some people shouldn't even watch this trial or listen to it because it's gonna be. I be watching DJ Academics do it, but it do be emotional. It be too much emotions for me. I ain't gonna lie, because I just can't really get. I can't get into all that type of stuff. This stuff is a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? That's too much for me. All that all that negativity. You know what I'm saying? I don't live my life like that. That's one thing when you get money and you get in the music industry or you get in the movies, you got to put up with these weirdos. And they be on some stuff like if you don't want to put up with them, then they'll block you, from the industry. For real. If you don't want to put up with all that foolishness, they'll block you. Tisa be on it too. Tisa, man, Tisa is the nosiest lady on social media. I watch her too. She know everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. No, DJ Academic's not in the courtroom, but what he doing, Alexis, is there's a guy that's tweeting everything, right? And so he's reading his tweets because you got to pay to read this guy's tweets, right? So you got to pay. I can't do Jaguar right. She be saying too much false stuff. You know, she just be saying crazy stuff trying to sound, you know, she be making up too much stuff. You know what I mean? And you know, she just be, I mean, if she do say something that's real, then it turn around and it be like, you know, you can't take her serious. She be just trying to say anything. She drops the info, but the info don't be correct. She just be saying anything. And so she hit and she missed. Yeah, that dude. You know? And she just be saying anything, trying to sound deep. I can't listen to her because I got to try to figure out what information is legit, what information is bad. Well, she trying, you know, I mean, she's just too weird for me. Her energy too dark for me. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, he tweeting word for word. I forgot his name though. Uh, I'll be watching Sean G when they take breaks. So I'll be watching Sean G too when they take breaks. I'll be skipping from Sean G to DJ Academics. I'll be switching. So I'll be watching, but I started watching Sean G because he was doing the exercises. Then he stepped his game up. You know what I'm saying? And he be telling what's going on when it's over. Look, I'm gonna find dude that be doing the trial. If you pay, he the one. But he's the one everybody be watching. That's type everything. What's going on? I'm gonna show you who he is. Okay, this is who. But you gotta. I think you gotta pay to see what he's saying. He's called Inner City Press. But this is where everybody's getting information from, hands on, as it's happening, from Inner City Press. You know what I'm saying? Inner City Press. This is the one that's saying hands on. He's the one typing that. So when you hear everybody reading it, he the one typing it. Like he the only one I think they let do it. He did something where they let him do it. But I think he like the only one. For real. He the one. You know what I'm saying? But I think you gotta I think you got to join or pay or something like that. Let me see. Let me see if I can join. I think I'm following them, but it said I got to subscribe. Yeah, I'm following them, but it say I got to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It say I got to subscribe. But if you subscribe to him, you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? If you subscribe to him, I think it's like $5, something like that. It's reasonable. But I just be watching DJ Academics because they be taking breaks and act be doing all kind of stuff. He the, Tisa know everybody business, but act be at everybody's page. He the best. He the best on the. Ain't nobody. Act is tripped out. If you try to be a content creator, watch Academics. It's unbelievable. He's streaming live everywhere. He had like 10,000 people in the chat. I kid you not. 10,000 in the chat, all the chats. I pay dude $1,000 to sit down and have him show me how he doing all that. I swear to God, he be having all the chats running. I bet it looked like a rocket ship. You know what I mean? I bet it looked like a rocket ship in there where Ack at. It's incredible. It's really incredible. You know what I'm saying? He plays stupid, but Ack is a technological genius. He a tech dude. He's smart. See, people don't know. Ack went to college. Ack got high technical skills. So we got screens everywhere, and he's seeing it all, but he got it all coming up. Man, he got all the chats coming up. You know, a streamer, like you got to study to be a streamer like that. That's why they be rich. They be rich, them big streamers like that, they be rich. But he the best. Kai Cenat, he ain't no academics. Academics is impressive. I say, this dude right here, you know what I'm saying? So I like watching him because when they take a break, he jump everywhere. So he gonna go to Sean G. You know what I'm saying? Act gonna go to Sean G. Act gonna go, whoever talk about it, it's gonna be on Act stuff. You know what I mean? So I ain't gotta jump around nowhere. But if you want to know everybody's business, you gotta watch Tisa Tell. If you really want to know the behind the scenes and everybody business and every little detail, you got to watch Tisa. Because if you watch Tisa, man, she going to mess your whole head up. Yeah, he's off the chain, G-Mix. Ack is off the chain. I ain't going to lie, man. And when he be typing, it be going, I say, dang. You know, you got to be able to type. Man, you should hear him typing that stuff. I say, oh, this dude this dude just playing stupid. He be typing that stuff. Dang. You know what I'm saying? He only 28 too. I think Ack only 28. Tisa Tales. Oh yeah, you can. It's I think it's Tisa Tales, just like that. That's who I be watching when I be want to know everybody business. If I want to know everybody business and I want to know all the business, I go watch her. If you want to know everybody business, I'm talking about stuff nobody else gonna tell you. Nobody gonna tell you what she gonna tell you. She the nosiest lady in the world. And she's nosy. So I watch her when I want to know what's going on. She be knowing, hey, I be watching that. I be watching the G Mick. That's how I found out about Diddy. That's how I found out about Diddy. Tisa told me. I've been using Tisa stuff. Tisa put me so far up on game, it's crazy. She the one told me about Ronald Burke. She the one told me about dude. That's where I got all this from. I be getting a lot of the 411, I be getting it from Tisa. Real talk. Tisa the one put me up on all this stuff. Tisa the one put me up on Zach. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God. Tisa put me up on Zach and Diddy. When I really want to step my game up and I really want to drop some bombs about somebody, man, I go to Tisa. If I really want to know what's going on, oh, heck yeah. I'm going to know everything going on. I'm going to know everything going on. She the one told me all this stuff. That's how I found out what was going on. I been knew Diddy was crazy. She been on Diddy bumper before he got arrested, before the raid. She been on Diddy bumper. That's what I be doing. Like, I don't be watching TV and stuff. So I be telling you, I don't got to watch TV. Oh, no, I don't got to watch TV. It's some fire over here on this internet. You ain't got to watch TV slow. TV way slow. TV way slow. Tasha K all right, but she ain't got nothing on Tisa. Tasha be a little slow with it. She all right, but she ain't on Tisa. Tisa is just all information. Tasha K is personal with hers. You know what I'm saying? So Tasha K is like more personal about the person and all that. Tisa's just with the information. That's who Tasha watching. Tasha watching Tisa. Trust me. Tasha ain't getting that information like Tisa tells. Oh, no. No. Tasha's information is slower. Tisa's information is a whole lot of information. Oh yeah, she broke that, but I already had that video. I already had the video. I got that whole video. I got that video as soon as it Bust out. Ticket TV is good too. I watch Ticket TV. Ticket TV got some good information. But if I had to give the most nosiest, Tisa is like 500 and the next person is down at 250. That's just unbelievable. I ain't gonna lie. She like Wendy Williams 2.0 without the, see, they get personal and stuff. She don't get personal. She just tell. She just tell. She don't get, Tisa just tell. She don't get personal. She just tell everything. She leave the personal stuff out. While everybody else doing personal stuff, she done told 50 things. She telling and telling and telling and telling. And guess what, y'all? Telling and telling and telling. And guess what, y'all? Telling and telling. And then she'll go away. And when she come back, she telling some more stuff. No, I can't watch her a whole lot. It'd be overkill. And I be talking about different things. So I can't watch her a whole lot because I be on I be on a lot of subjects. And Tisa just will fill you with, have me, on the gossip tip. I don't do no whole lot of gossip. Like this ain't really, I'm not really trying to do gossip on this. I'm trying to break down the case and how the case coming and contradict what people saying don't look like they got no case, but they got a hella case and they got another 6 weeks to go. And they got some witnesses that the worst witnesses they could bring up. Because when they bring that young girl up, if they bring her up, it's a wrap. It's over. They played it excellent because Casey make him look like a scumbag. So now every victim after that, it's just horrible. Man, they played that. The prosecution ain't no joke. And they played it so good. Even when they say, oh, Casey going first because she pregnant and she real pregnant and she finna have a baby, which is true. But that was all, man, that was all to make you think that she the most important. That was slick. That make you think we wanted to bring her last. No, her testimony is going to make all that other testimony. Listen, Tiny, Casey's testimony is going to make everybody else's testimony be on steroids because her testimony already paints him as a monster, no matter what. So when they bring up this little girl behind that, it's a wrap. In other words, what Casey was saying, everybody like, dang, he a horrible person. But that don't mean he guilty. But dang, he horrible. So what's going to happen once everybody know he horrible and they bring up more ladies on top of the horrible? It was genius. See what I'm saying, Tiny? What's going to happen after she said all that? She said stuff I can't even say about what he had people doing. Listen, with your woman, would you have somebody do that in her mouth? No matter what, even if she let you do it, how is everybody going to look at you that you had people do that to your girlfriend? You going to be the worst one. You're going to be worse than her. That's your girlfriend. And she loves you and this what you made her do? Ain't nobody going to be like, oh, she shouldn't have did it and all that. Everybody going to be like, no, I'm referring to the girl that they flew in, that him and Harve flew in from Michigan. No, I'm talking this girl right here. that they flew in from Michigan. This girl right here. This the one, it's over with. It's over. She was like, what, 14, 15, something like that, 16? She was young. And then Harve made her do stuff. Said, well, if you don't have sex with me, I ain't going to take you to see Diddy. The one on the left with the bald head found her and called Diddy and said, I got a girl here from, hey, Tiny. The one with the bald head called Diddy from out of town. Say he got a girl there. And Diddy said, bring her. And they put the minor on a plane and flew her from like Detroit to New York. Now, Tiny, if you fly a minor from Detroit to New York and then take a picture with her on your lap, and that's the testimony they give after Casey testimony, you're going to jail. You're going to jail, 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 jail. That's trafficking. It's over. Case closed. Case closed. Behind all that stuff Casey said, he finished. That's why I said they set it up perfect. Think about you hear this behind what Casey said. And this fool took a picture. And took a picture with Biggie with a 14-year-old. Biggie would be in prison too if he was still alive. Biggie would be in prison. A 14-year-old. Crazy, Tiny. So that's why I said they ran the game on everybody, man. The prosecutor's a monster. Listen, I'm going to just talk for myself. When Casey went first, I'm thinking, this your star witness. She not the star witness. This is the star witness. This is the star witness. This is the nail in the coffin. Casey just paints you as a scumbag. Paint you as I loved him. I did all this. Look at all this stuff he done for me. Paint him as a lowlife. He wiping men's stuff on his chest and all this. So he already looking super horrible. So everybody like, yeah, he look horrible. Yeah, he a monster. But you ain't prove he did the crime. But he definitely is a monster. Then, once everybody accept he a monster, but say you ain't proved the crime, then they go, well, bam. And then everybody go, oh. Yeah, that's trafficking. He's a monster and he trafficking. Oh, yeah. Give him 1,000 years. No, she's not the girl that flew away. They flew her back, bruh. Look it up. They flew her back. Diddy is over. 17-year-old victim exposes and sues him and Harve Pierre. The girl sued both of them. He finished. And that's trafficking. R. Kelly is locked up right now for doing it. He didn't even do it intentionally. The girl was the right age when she left Chicago, but was the wrong age when she landed. Bam, they got him. This fool then flew up. They said 17-year-old all the way. And then this fool Harve told her that if she want to meet Diddy, she got to do him first. So Harve had her all to himself before he even took her to Diddy. I tell you, these people crazy. These dudes is crazy. See, that's that X. That X was out then. That X. That's that X. That X was out then. He threw. He threw. And listen, y'all tell me if he threw or not. Look what it say. SEX trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. This alleges he forced 3 women into SEX activity and trafficked the 4th one. This charge has a mandatory 15 years in prison and a maximum life. So the least he can get is 15. They could max him out. The racketeering. This charge alleging that he used his business to facilitate and hide criminal activities, including SEX trafficking and forced labor. The charge carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. Down at the bottom, transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts. This charges him with transporting individuals to engage in prostitution. This carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Listen, he gone. He gone. He gone. Think about what they say they bringing, and they got 5 to 6 more weeks. What? This is gonna be a long 6 weeks. They ain't got no 6 weeks of no weak stuff. They're not finna come with no 6 weeks of no weak stuff. That's why I looked it up. So I came to talk to y'all. They finna come with 6 weeks of pain, boy. He already looking like a scumbag. The next ones come out. It's just like the jurors gonna be like, we could just go. We don't, we don't need to hear no more. He finished. That's why I said it was genius, because they showed Cassie first. And Cassie didn't send him to prison. Cassie just showed he was a scumbag. Cassie just showed he was a scumbag. So what's going to happen when they bring this out, when the snitch come out and tell, because Diddy was mean, and when everybody come out and tell how mean he was? And what's going to happen when Harve Pierre get on the stand and snitch on him and say, Diddy told me to bring her. Yeah, he told me to bring her. Where the hood brothers at? Where the brothers in the hood? What happened when you go get in trouble and you go to court and you be sitting there? Don't they bring Harve out there? Don't they bring out Harve? They bring out Harve. Your main boy you went to college with. And Harve get right there and they say, so who told you to bring her? Well, Sean told me to bring her. I called Sean and told her I had her. Did you tell her his age? Yeah, we knew she was underage because I had to sneak on all that. He don't need no Vaseline or nothing. With what he charged with and he go, oh, baby, you don't want to go to prison with what oh, boy. And, boy, he might as well go to PC. And even PC ain't going to be, yeah, boy, listen. They going to be fighting for who woman he going to be. They're going to be fighting over Diddy. Diddy going to have Kool-Aid on his lips, I'm telling you. Let me tell y'all something about jail and prison. one of the most horrifying things in jail and prison. And listen close. See, when brothers and sisters in prison, one of the things that haunts them the most, that bothers them day in and day out, is not being able to be out there to protect their children and their wife. So they feel like they can't protect their children. So now, when you go to jail, if you did anything to a child, a minor of any kind, everybody internalized that personally. They start thinking, I wish somebody would. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's all bad for you when you come in there with them charges and these men can't protect their children, and you reminding them that this could happen to their children. Why not you out there doing that? And we in here, we gorillas. We in here for gorilla stuff. We in here for hyena, gorilla, tiger stuff. And you come in there with that? Boy, look. Like his life gonna be in danger. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. If I'm in prison and he come in there where I'm at, come on, man. You already know what I'm finna say. I got 3 daughters. I got granddaughters. You did what? You was on what? Because a lot of people, they're like, I don't want you in here. They don't want you in there with them. You got to get airlifted. They ain't gonna want you around. You creep everybody out. You give everybody anxiety. You doing what? I'm telling you, man, them charges, you don't never want to go in there with nothing like that. You don't want to go in there with that. Let me tell you something. If you're affiliated and you did that, you know what your affiliation gonna do to you? It's rules to being affiliated, man. That's even worse. Because now they the ones gotta do it. That's how the gang go. The other affiliates gonna be like, hey, handle that. So if he is affiliated, that's who gotta handle it. Bro, you don't want to go to jail for messing with no kids or no grape or nothing like that. The worst thing you want to go is for anything with minors. Anything with minors, it's a wrap, okay? It's a wrap. You don't want to go in there with that. People got anxiety over their children, and you out here doing stuff to children, and they can't protect their babies, and their babies out there, and you was out there. No. Elders, not so much. Females and children. Elders smelter. They ain't on that like that. That to them, that's just a crime. You know, you might be bogus. You might have somebody personally don't like it. But I'm talking about something don't nobody gonna like. See, if you did something to an elder, you got certain brothers gonna be like, man, why you do that to that old man like that, man? You foul like that. But it ain't gonna be like law. It ain't gonna be like law. Everybody know you don't want to be in there for doing nothing to no females. But boy, kids, bruh. And these dudes got all these anxieties over their baby. They can protect their babies, and you out there doing what to what, baby? And then another thing about jail, too, is, hey, man, relatives be in there. It's a small world, bro. Listen, it's a small world. Okay? So you might get in there and somebody might know this young lady parents or brother or something. Then people do turf. So he from New York. So if she from Detroit, the Detroit car gonna be like, they gonna find out who it is. And then it's like you got a problem with the Detroit car. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a problem with the Detroit car. Cause you from New York, you the one that took that girl from Detroit. I don't know. No, you don't want to go in there with nothing like that. No, you can't have no blemish on you when you go in the jungle in there like that. You can't go in there. You can't go in there with no blemishes on your stuff. You just can't. The only thing can save him is if he paid for protection. He could pay. He could pay for protection. That's the only thing. He could pay. Yeah, he could pay. He could pay for protection. There is a price. But whoever he paid for protection, if his protection slipped just one little bit, he gonna be out of there. Now you're gonna have to pay more than that for messing with a kid like that. No, it's gonna cost him. Somebody gonna have to go take some. Somebody gonna have to go take some family members some real money. They gonna have to get on that phone. Maybe, depending on how they feel. My thoughts on his mother. His mother ran a prostitution ring, and she was in that. His daddy was like a pimp. His daddy was a pimp that ran a prostitution ring with the mama, and the daddy was a rat. So the daddy got unalive. So he come from scum. You know, he always been scum. You know what I'm saying? He always been scum. He always been on the Lucifer side. You know what I'm saying? You see how Biggie like better known as Lucifer. You know, on the dark side. You know what I'm saying? Always. The whole bad boy always been demonic. Biggie was demonic. He was talking about being in hell and shit. He's like, throw down some ice for the nicest MC. See what I'm saying? He was always talking about going to hell and being a demon. Biggie had a clothing line called 666. Y'all know that? He was dark. Yeah, he was dark as could be. He was coming out with the whole clothing line, 666. I'm trying to tell you. That's why he was rapping all that satanic stuff. About doing stuff to you and throw you over the bridge. His stuff was too dark for me. He could rap though. But it was just too dark. I really couldn't. I really couldn't handle all that darkness, man. It was too much for me. You know, like when you do that kind of stuff and you sell your soul like that, then, bad energy gonna come collect. You ain't gonna be ready to pay. See, brothers be doing that stuff thinking they gonna get a long time to pay. And that's the trick. Soon as you get the money, boom. You know what I mean? Soon as you get the money, bam. That's how that stuff works. You thinking, oh, it's sweet, you know what I mean? But as soon as you get the money, you out of here. Because the devil is a liar. So you can't be cutting on deals with the devil. You know what I'm saying? Dudes just don't be learning. You know what I'm saying? So once you do that, man, you liable not to even be around. You'll never sell your soul like that. Because when it's time to pay, you ain't gonna be ready to pay. You just playing. You know what I'm saying? So he was a little dark, but he was a cool brother though. He was a cold rapper, one of the coldest. I ain't gonna lie. That boy could rap, boy. Another life gone too soon. But yeah, he was on that dark side. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame. Man, it's just sad, man. I'm gonna tell you. This stuff be sad, man. To see these brothers go down like that. You know what I'm saying? Puff was like one of the crazy producers, man. And just to see him mess it all up like that, that's just mind-boggling, man. You know what I'm saying? And see how these brothers didn't have no regard for life or nothing, just on some old stupid stuff. All that talent down the drain. Good to see you, young world. Yeah, all that talent, man. We be having all that talent, man, but they don't be on nothing righteous like that. You know what I'm saying? Biggie was a cold rapper, boy. That boy was cold. Him and Tupac both. That boy was cold as ice. But he just was on the dark side, man. I don't know what was wrong with him. Okay, I'll check it out. See, look. See, he got the 666 on. Well, did you ultimately see this downfall of Diddy? Not really, because I wasn't paying no attention. So I wasn't paying no attention, but definitely I never, ever would have thought that anybody would do anything like that. Yeah, he got the 666 on. The whole crew got it on. Yeah, he was pushing that. He was pushing it hard. He had a whole clothing line. Yeah, he was with it. He was pushing Satan. He was pushing the devil. You know what I'm saying? He was devil worshiping. For real. I ain't gonna lie on it, brother. He was straight up devil worshiping. He was on the dark side. See, when you play like that, then you lose everything fast. You know, he shouldn't have been playing like that. I don't know what's wrong with him. Probably thought it was funny. No, I mean, I didn't know. I wouldn't have never, I wasn't even looking for anything to happen to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wasn't looking for nothing like that. So I wouldn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking I wasn't looking for none of that behavior. No, I'm finding out just like y'all finding out. No, he got money like that. I would have never thought he'd be crazy like that. See, look, he was 666. But see, when you make a deal with the devil, he come and collect before you get what you supposed to get. So you make a deal, you supposed to get this. You make a deal, then he come get it before you. You know what I'm saying? It's the devil. The devil is a liar. Why you listen to the devil? So look, that's what it is, y'all. Whatever you do, y'all stay positive, man. Stay off that dark side. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with like dark images or nothing like that. Because, you know, it's going to come collect. You thinking it's funny, but it's going to come collect when you ain't ready. So, you know, don't put your life out there because you're just asking for your life not to be here. You understand? Because look, if you got righteousness and you got evil, right? All right, then. So now you can split up everything based on righteousness and evil. Righteousness is life. What is evil then? Death. You mess around with evil, you mess around and die early. What they call an untimely death because you playing with the dark side. You know what I'm saying? He could still rap. I still like him as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he threw his life away. You understand? When you make a deal with the devil, he always come and collect too early. You're never ready for him to collect. He'll make a deal with me and I sell my soul and I get a whole lot of money Thursday and then he take me out that next Tuesday before I even, you know what I'm saying? Because I made the bad deal. I didn't put everything in the deal. You just be like, man, I want to be successful no matter what. Boom, you become successful. But you should have said, I want to be successful and live till I'm 115. You didn't say everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like the story of the genie in the bottle. The man rubbed the bottle and the genie came out. But when the man made the wish, he always said it wrong. So when the wish came true, it was messed up because he got exactly what he wished for. And it was always messed up because he didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know I'm different. Because when I was a shorty in school, the teacher say, if you got one wish, I'm going to come ask everybody, if you got one wish, what would you wish for? So they went to this child, wish for that. I want money. This would say that. When he came to me and said, Michael, what you wish for? I said, I wish for 1,000,000 wishes. She said, what am I going to do with you? I said, I wish for 1,000,000 wishes. That's what I would miss. That's what I would wish for. I wish I could get 1,000,000 of these. Now I can't mess my wishes up. I got 1,000,000 of them. My teacher just looked at me. All the kids come out, I want 1,000,000 too. I want to take mine back. I want 1,000,000 too. Now it's too late. Y'all slow. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not little Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? Little Michael. I want 1,000,000 wishes because I kept thinking I might wish for the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? So I need to reverse it. I need to wish it was here and I don't like it. I wish it go away. You know what I'm saying? That's why I thought when I was a kid. That's why I say I'm different. And when you're different like this, you can't take no credit for it. You don't even know what you want me to do. I can't take no credit for being different. It ain't, you don't get no trophy for this. Don't never let nobody be like, man, I'm different. I'm all this into Jesus. No, it don't go like that. It ain't no reward. That's not a reward. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to only listen. The only thing you have to do in life, you don't have to pray to God. You don't have to do good things. You don't have to do none of that. The only thing you have to do is don't do bad stuff. That's it. But they don't want to tell you that. You don't got to go to church. You ain't got to go to the mall. You ain't got to do nothing. All you got to do is just leave people alone. If you don't do no bad stuff, you good. And don't let nobody tell you just anything is bad. Bad is only things that affect other things. If it don't affect nobody, it's not bad. Okay? You got to do something like hurt a bird, go out and do unnecessary stuff, hurting animals, hurting people, stealing from people, bad, real bad stuff. Other than that, if you just mind your own business, you don't got to do no righteous stuff. Righteousness is not doing bad. There's no such thing as doing righteous. Righteousness is just not being wicked. If you're not wicked, you're automatically righteous. You don't got to do no righteous stuff. Just leave people alone. It's real simple. Leave people alone, man. Do your own thing. That's it. That's why I never rob people and all that. I don't rob. I ain't never robbed nobody. I ain't never took nobody, broken nobody's house. All that old weirdo stuff. Why am I breaking your house to take your stuff for? I don't want your stuff. I ain't never do stuff like that. Self-defense is just survival. If somebody doing something to you, you ain't do nothing to them just because you're protecting yourself. Doing something to somebody is just going to do something to them for no reason because you want something or something. Now, self-defense ain't nothing but self-defense. You can't never be wrong for protecting yourself. You wrong. Listen, you say, well, what about self-defense? Is there wrong in self-defense? Yeah, there's wrong in self-defense. It's wrong that this dude mess with me that I got to defend myself. That's why wrong ain't no good, because if this fool keep bothering me, I got to defend myself. He the one wrong. So they're still wrong in the situation, but the wrong person is the one attacking you is the one wrong. So there's a wrong in it, but the one attacking you is the one wrong. You ain't wrong for trying to survive. How both of y'all gonna be wrong? How somebody gonna attack me and be wrong, and I get them off of me, and I'm wrong too? No, it don't work like that. That person is wrong. You was just minding your business. You can't attack nobody and say they was wrong because they did you dirty for messing with them. You asked for that. Why would they block public viewing of this case? They block public viewing of the case because it's a Fed case. They don't televise the Fed case, Tim. They only televise state cases. They ain't televising no Fed case. OJ and all that was state cases. YSL was state. They ain't televising no Fed case. They ain't playing with no Fed case. Hey, Tim, you want, if you do gotta go to court, you want to be on the televised one. Hey, Tim, if you do go to court, you want yours to be televised for sure. Because if it ain't televised, they're gonna give you 1,000 years. They gonna give you 1,000 years if it ain't televised. Boy, you done messed up. Why they don't put Fed case on TV? Because the feds is the monster. The feds is the monster. The feds don't sell no TV time. You know what I'm saying? The monster. They don't sell no TV time. You can't buy no TV time up here. We don't do nothing but lock people up and throw the key away forever. We the feds. Nobody want a Fed case. You see all these cases I ran, 10 years was the weakest one. The other one's life, some sign of life. You know, it's the feds. Don't nobody want to play with the feds. That's why sit down before you be done did a Fed crime and you don't even know it's a Fed crime. Like, sit down. Don't do no crimes. Leave people alone. Don't be doing violence. Don't be starting fights. No. Protect yourself, but leave people alone. Stay out the way. Don't you go commit no crimes and stay out the way so you won't be the victim of a crime. Stop running around trying to get robbed and hurt. I just got to go outside. Why? I just, eventually if I go out enough, somebody hurt me, you know? Like, move smart. And stay away from negativity. And when somebody do something to you, ask yourself, do I want to get them back and go to prison? Because if you go to prison, you lost. If you do something to me and I do something back and I go to prison and you're on the streets, who won? So why would I want to do something back and lose? I'm not finna lose. Before I go to prison, I'll let you have that. Yeah, I'll let you get away with it before I go to prison. That's a fact. I'm not going to prison over nothing stupid. Because if you right, they ain't gonna send you to prison anyway. They ain't gonna send you to prison if you wrong and you tripping. Typically, we gotta include racism. But Diddy got all that money. He a fool. I don't got no sympathy for him. Bro, you did all that work. One of the best producers in the game. I ain't gonna take that away from you. And bro, you threw that all up. You beating up women and stuff with all the women you could have got. And you clinging to Casey like that? Really? He should have gave me half of that money. I wouldn't have been clinging to nobody don't want to cling back. Boy, listen. I bet you I wouldn't be doing all that goofy stuff. Come on, man. That man a fool. Fed time worse than state time. Hell yeah, fed time worse than state time. First off, state. I get a state case. I get arrested. Guess where I'm going to get locked up? In the state. I might be far, but I'm going to be in Illinois where my family can drive to see me. Fed case. I get locked up. I'm from Chicago. They send me to Wyoming. I go to Wyoming. I'm in Wyoming 10 months. They like, pack up. They send me to Texas. I'm in Texas a year, 11 months. Pack up. They send me to Hawaii. Pack up. They send me to Pittsburgh. They could send you anywhere in the United States, so your family can't visit you. You ain't doing state time. You're doing fed time. You got to go to a federal prison. So you ain't getting no visits like that or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't no player from the Himalayas, if you ain't no real G, if you ain't the type of person that can get along, your ass is out of here. A lot of these brothers and stuff that be in these chats and stuff, They can't make it in prison. They can't make it. People be trolling me and playing with me, and all I'm over here doing minding my business. They can't make it in prison. Boy, in prison, you gotta mind your damn business. You can't be doing all this so weirdo stuff. You gotta be really cool and chilled out and mind your business. Know when to keep your mouth shut and when to open it. You can't be no chatty patty and no nosy Nancy and no looking Luella. You're going to end up jacked up. You got to be chilled out. Really, in any prison, any jail, you got to be chill. Ready to defend yourself for some nonsense, but you can't be on no nonsense. Man, Fed crimes is Fed prison. Okay, state crime. I do a state crime. Boom, they send me to Illinois. They send me to they send me to Springfield, whatever. I come in on the new. They come in, what's you? Boom, I'm a four corner hustler. Boom, they like, boom, almighty, okay. Boom, we go over there with the Vice Lords and the Blackstone. Boom, boom, like that. I go to Fed prison. I come in. Now, ain't none of that four corner hustler. Where you from? I'm from Chicago. Okay, you gotta go with the Chicago car. You don't go with the gang car. So now let's say me and you gang banging, you my op. Let's say you a BD, I'm a Blackstone. We've been banging in Chicago. You catch a fair case, I catch a fair case. Guess what? Now, me and you in the same car from opposite gangs, because now ain't no more gangs we in. Now we both in the Chicago car. So you end up got to be in the car with your enemy you was fighting against. You understand? The same enemy you was fighting with, now you in that car. You in the Chicago car. And guess what? DC ain't got no state. So guess who got the biggest car? DC. Because everybody in DC go to Fed. Because they ain't got no state. So now DC run all the federal prisons. Because everybody get in trouble in DC, go to Fed. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't want to be going to prison. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go to prison. And then if you got a shank, you get caught with it, that might be 7 years. So let's say you're doing 15, and you get caught with a shank, and they give you 7, they give you 14 more. What you gonna do? Now your time's stacking up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be going to prison and jail and all that. It's not cool. Jail not cool. County jail not cool. State prison not cool. Federal prison not cool. It's not cool. Live a decent life and carry yourself like you got some sense. You don't want to wake up every day on dummy. And that's no matter which one of them you go to every day. It's with that. It's every day. Okay? It's every day. Imagine getting up in the morning and going to brush your teeth, and it's just men everywhere going to brush their teeth and watch it's just men. All kind of men, and they coming in and out, especially in the county. It's men. It's a lot of men. Ain't no women. It's men. Lots of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just men. Yeah, you in there. You might be cool, but ain't nobody cool. People want to go home. They don't never be telling the truth on these TV shows and all this stuff, man. People want to go. You want to go home. You do not want to be in there unless you homeless. Nobody want to be in there. You understand? Every day, all day. You know, I did 4 months in the county jail. Every day I'm on dummy. Every day I'm on dummy. Now I ain't doing nothing, so I'm keeping it cool on my deck. But hey, it's gonna be what it's gonna be though. Ain't nowhere to run in there. You in there. Ain't nowhere to go. So you really gotta be a G. You really gotta be that. If you ain't that, you can't make it. You gotta be strong and you gotta be adaptable and you gotta be easy to get along with. So just because you're strong, you don't act strong, you just chill. If you chill and you easy to get along with, then you get on with the guys, then everything cool. You one of the guys, you know what I mean? They ain't tripping on you. Y'all like roommates, y'all, you know what I mean? That's just how it is. And then once you like that, they come and they go. But then when they come and they go, the basis is still there. This is in the county jail and in prison. So every time you still with the base, you still always know more people than you don't know. Because they're not going home that fast. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to, you know what I mean? You know, you don't want to get in no trouble. Diddy, you know, who wants to be a multimillionaire and you around beating up women and all it is, man, and you got all this money. You own all these substances, taking substances so you can OD and all of this. Like a fool with all that damn money. So I'd be cool in there. I'm in there, I'm telling Diddy, man, what is you, a fool? Sit down with all that crazy stuff, bro. If he would have went to the county jail, it would have saved him from going to federal prison. Because he could have had somebody tell him, man, sit your goofy ass down somewhere, bro. You doing too much, bro. You're going to lose it all. They're going to take everything he got. He's going to lose it all. But he do say he got his stuff ain't in his name. So he might have been smart enough for that. But still, them babies and them children and stuff you got, they got to raise themselves. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Because he wanted to be, you know what I'm saying? His daddy was in the streets. His mama was a street chick type. So that's all he know is hustling and pimping. And that's it. It ain't all his fault, you know. He's a victim of circumstance, product of his environment. So it ain't really all his fault. You know what I'm saying? His problem was he should have left them substances alone. Them substances will mess you up. You know what I'm saying? He got issues and things. He be overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like they finna take it. Because I can't see how he ain't going to prison. He going to prison. And sometimes prison is good for you. Sometimes prison is good for you. Sometimes you go to prison and you think, man, if I didn't go to prison, I'd be unalive. Sometimes prison save your life, get you out of the way of disasters, sit you down for a few years. So that's all with that, y'all. Y'all be positive. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel. Stay out of trouble. And I'll talk about this again when something is interesting, but I ain't doing the gossip and stuff. But definitely watch the trial. Definitely listen to the trial or watch the trial. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? When it's an interesting trial, watch it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you can learn stuff. No, it's a good deterrent to show you how to chill. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing better than life and freedom. You know, you could lose your freedom just like that. You didn't got too angry or some. You know, you gotta know how not to jump out the window and don't be crashing out. You know what I'm saying? See that Diddy, and that's why a lot of alcohol and a lot of substances. That's why I don't deal with that like that, cause that stuff will have you not thinking right, and you'll sober up in prison. Like where I'm at. Oh man, I've been here 2 years, man. I'm finally sobered all the way up. No, I ain't supposed to be in here. It's too late. You understand? So you brothers, don't y'all do that. Don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And don't gloat if he go to jail or go to prison. Never do that either. Never do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's it for that. And learn this hand signal. If something happened and you in a bad situation, you want to signal somebody that you need help, do this. All right? Victory.